Am I the asshole for asking a girl what's her highest level of education? From the UK. I was at my dad's birthday party the other day, and we invited family and his close friends. My uncle, Harry Dad's brother, recently divorced from his wife to be with someone younger, Jess's. Mum and I are close to my Aunt Harry's. So we have already had some dislike towards Jess. Mum actually had invited Harry alone, with no +1. Aunt refused to come since he was there. But their kids came, but he brought her along anyway. Jess looked super young, but she said that she was of age. Throughout the party, she shocked us with a few things she said. 1. When we were talking about travels, she said Harry brought her to France, and it was her first international travel, and to a European country. The crowd was stunned, and she was denying that she is technically European, and UK is in the European continent. She got angry and said, "Are you lot not up to date? We left Europe ages ago." 2. She thinks North is up. 3. She never locks her car, because no one can start it without her keys anyway. 4. She thinks having unprotected sex when pregnant with one baby will create twins. This is just what I can remember. Just so you know, we didn't really ask her all of this. The conversation with other ladies when over these subject matters was hijacked by her each time, and she gave us her thoughts on that. So it's not like we were picking on her incessantly. The part where I got irritated was when my mom's friend was asking how my fertility treatments were going. I'm on hormonal drugs to induce ovulation. Jess chimed in saying that those drugs won't do any good, and that I just have to eat right to repair myself. She went on and on about how her friend who is strictly vegan is on her third nap. I merely asked her what's her highest level of education out of curiosity, because if she only had high school or had a learning disability, I was going to go easy on her. Apparently that was wrong to ask. She soured and tugged Harry to leave the house. Dad is now telling me to apologize to her for being rude. Me? Harry told him that she kept throwing tantrums about me being very arrogant and rude to her. Dad said Jess grew up in an abusive home and had a rough upbringing, as if that will explain her behavior and lack of general knowledge. Now, I do feel a teeny tiny bit bad for what I said now that I know about her troubles, but she sort of hit a sore spot about telling me what to eat, as if I hadn't consulted a professional to repair myself. LDR asked her girl what her level of education was after suggesting me to eat right, so that I can get pregnant. There's several Ahs in this story, but especially the big hairy one who seems to be skating by with no questions or details, still getting invited to family events, despite some seemingly reprehensible behavior. Did Jess know about his status when their relationship started? Being an idiot doesn't always equate to being an but your uncle really sounds like one. Not the asshole, honestly. As soon as anyone offers me unsolicited medical advice, I ask them where their medical degrees are from, so I can't really fault you for this one. It sounds like you held your tongue on a lot of bullshit, and I don't know if I could have been so gracious all along. Harry sounds like a real creep dating someone this inexperienced with so much trauma in her young life. Well, it was more polite than asking her if she had ever been denied oxygen for a long period of time, especially during her developmental years, assuming she is out of them. So it was a teeny bit rude and condescending. But I'm inclined to give you a pass because she was begging for it with her remarks. You're not the asshole. Quite frankly, you should focus on your Uncle Harry, who, from the looks of it, left his wife for a barely legal girl whose mental capacity doesn't seem to be all that great. It was his fault for bringing her when she wasn't invited, and she is not the bad guy here. Not the asshole. In no situation is it right to comment on someone's medical treatment as if they knew more. Her level of education doesn't matter here. She was extremely rude, and her tantrums only show how immature she is. She doesn't get a pass for acting like a child. No. You're the asshole for trolling. From the UK, but American spelling of behavior and use of mom, which is not common in the UK too. List of ridiculous beliefs that would not come up in normal conversation, Despite what you say, how on earth were you discussing a topic that led to someone expressing their belief that North was up? I mean, if Uncle Harry doesn't want to deal with tantrums, then he shouldn't date a child mental, physical, emotional. Pick any all that apply. Seems a bit obvious. Jess is clearly uneducated in the medical field, and this would be an appropriate area to chastise her in. It is a little rude to ask about her general level of education, but in the context of her unasked for opinions about your personal medical issues, she was extremely rude and inconsiderate. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You can't cure stupid, but you can fix ignorance. This girl seems woefully ignorant, and quite happy to be so. She is embarrassing herself with the nonsense she spews, and someone needs to tell her. I'm kinda mixed, because yes, you were an asshole, but also it was kinda justified immo since she was spewing BS. Also, not trying to be annoying here, but amount of schooling doesn't always equal amount of intelligence. You're the asshole. Just by reading the post, it's easy to tell you're biased and obviously had no intent of welcoming her with respect anyways. Sounds like everyone was hounding her the whole time. I'm sorry if I'm just stupid, but am I wrong for not understanding what's wrong with what she said before the medical advice? If she traveled to Europe for the first time, she's obviously not from there. North is up, correct? It's upward on the map. Unprotected sex. When pregnant also can cause twins. I feel like I'm missing something here. Gentle Esh. I merely asked her what's her highest level of education out of curiosity, because if she only had high school or had a learning disability, I was going to go easy on her. I don't quite believe this. You concede that you were already irritated by this point. The question feels targeted specifically to take her down a peg. And frankly, after suffering through all the nonsense spewing out of her mouth, you already knew everything you needed to about her intellect. Esh, it's extremely rude to comment about people's fertility. It's also super condescending to go easy on someone with lower education than you. So your rationale is also rude. Is North not up? Leaning towards you the asshole. It was a rude question, and I would view it as a personal attack. She crossed the line about the fertility thing, but I'm inclined to think it was out of ignorance and not malice.